today's topic is React.js.net. So there are two parts to the topic, React.js and .net. But today I'm not going to deeply talk about React or .net. So I'm going to talk about the way we can integrate React UIs into the existing .net Core web application. So I think all are now familiar with .NET Core web application. So, but not much with React. So, but don't worry. I also have only basic knowledge of React. I'm also still studying it. So, basic React basic knowledge is enough for this presentation. Okay, let's move. This is the today outline. So first I will give a brief introduction. So what is React and why we need React, and then so how can we integrate React with ASP.NET Core. Then we'll move with the demo. Okay, what is React? In simply, React is a declarative, efficient, and flexible JavaScript library for building user interfaces. It lets you compose complex UIs from small and isolated pieces of code called components. So components which are like custom reusable HTML elements to quickly and efficiently build user interfaces. So we use components to tell React what we want to see on the screen. When our data changes, React will efficiently update and re-render the components. Then here are some React properties. So React is declarative and it's simple and powerful. So component based and also support for server side. It's extensible, fast and easy to learn. Then why we need React? So there are more important features of React. So the first one is simplicity. So React is it has the component-based approach and also well-defined life cycle, use of plain JavaScript, and it uses a special syntax called JSX, which allows you to mix HTML with JavaScript. But this is not a requirement. Developer can still write in plain JavaScript, but JSX file is much easier to use. Another thing is easy to learn. So anyone with the basic previous knowledge in programming can easily understand React. So you just need basic knowledge of CSS and HTML. And the other thing is native approach. React can be used to create mobile applications, and React is a die-hard fan of usability. So meaning extensive code reusability is supported. Then the other thing is data binding. So it uses one-way data binding. So easier to debug self-contained components of large React.js apps. So then the next thing is testability. So React.js applications are super easy to test because so you will understand this with my next slides. So we are maintaining React state, so we can pass to the pass variable into the React state, and we can easily test. Okay, and this is the most important part of this presentation. So how we can create React UIs inside existing ASP.NET web application. So first of all, you have to install few packages and you need to set up some configuration. So I will explain step by step, and then I will demonstrate. So first we'll move with the installation guide. Okay, so First thing you have to install so React.js.net React.net package. So we can install it via NuGet packages. And then after installing it, you have to install a JavaScript engine. So there are many. So you can select one and you can install. So you need to check your .NET Core version, and then you can install a compatible version of these packages with your .NET Core version. So then after that, after installing these, so you have to install the native assembly based on your architecture and engine choice. So it's up to you to select a JavaScript engine. And lastly, you have to install JavaScript engine switcher my dependency injection package also. Those are the things you have to install, and then you have to do set up some configuration. So you have to add some configurations. So you have to modify two files inside your project. So the first one is startup file. So you have to add React there. You have to add React there, and also you have to register your JavaScript engine. So if not, you will get errors. And other thing is you have to initialize React.js. This is important for your server-side rendering. So if you want to use server-side rendering of React components, so you need to add all necessary JavaScript files here. So, and finally, you have to modify the view imports file. You have to import React.ASP.NET. Okay. And before moving to the demo, so you need to understand two properties of React. So those are props and state. So props, it's short for properties, and then and they are used to pass data between React components. So simply, it's similar to function parameters. If you want to pass data from one React component to another component, we can use props. And the data flow between components is unidirectional, so from parent to child. And state allows a component to create and manage their own data. So it's similar to variables declared within a function. So we can modify the state variables calling a special method set state. So I will show those things during my demo. Okay. That's about the theoretical side. So then I will quickly jump to the demonstration. So hope you guys can see my screen. So I have created the sample ASP.NET Core web application, and I have installed the needed package here. So if I go to sorry, this is in running mode. So we are manage NuGet packages. You can search and install the needed packages. So here when installing you may face some issues during the version compatibility. So then you need to figure out which version is compatible with your .NET Core version. Like this, you can install other packages as well. So then after installing those packages, you need to modify the startup file. You need to add React there, and you need to register your JavaScript engine. And if you are using server-side rendering, you need to add initialize React here, and you need to add your JSX files here, and then you have to import the React inside your view imports HTML file. Okay, then all set. Then we can start coding. For the demonstration, so I will create a JSX file here. So all React components during the demos I will write inside this file. So it's under the root folder and Java under JS folder. So I have created file here. So I'm going to write my first React component. So actually it's simple. So class. So I will define my class as comment box. Should be React.components, and inside this React component, so I need to render I need to render the HTML element inside this comment box class. So I will and inside return tag. So inside this return, so I have to write my HTML code. Okay, so I have added the sample code here, and here so the React component class name is comment box. So we need to set the class name of this div as same as the my React class. So okay. So after creating the React component, so we need to render it into our UI. So then what we have to do is I need to the React class here. Then I need to mention the place that I need to render my React component. So then I have defined the place with ID content. So this React component should be rendered to that place. So then I will define this place. So I'm going to render that React component inside my index file. So you have to import some script React related script files here. Then after that to define the place, and also I have to register the JSX file here as well. So yes, yeah, this is okay. So this is my JSX file. So I have imported here. Then we'll run the code and we'll see what happens. Yeah, so it displays the text I entered in my tutorial JSX file. So like that, we can create multiple components. So we'll take a step ahead. So I will add few more classes. List. So I have defined two classes, and I need to render those two classes as well. Then inside this, this is my parent class. Inside this, I will add those. I'll refresh the browser. Yeah, those two components are also rendered by the browser. Okay, then I will show another example. So assume I need to pass some data from one React component to another React component. Then the props, React props are comes into the picture. So I will define another class here. Assume it's comment. So we are comment list. So I need to pass some variables into the comment component. So then what I can do is, so inside that I will add comment class. Then I need to pass, assume I need to pass two variables here. So I will first define it as one is author. Variable name is author, and I can define the value here, and assume it's text. So so I pass two variables into the comment component. So then I need to access those two variables inside my comment class. Then what I can do is, so here it will render the variable property here, and then so it's text. We'll refresh the browser. Yes, so it has rendered. So this is the variable I pass from the comment list to comment component. So likewise, so I can pass multiple variable there. Okay, likewise, so we can pass variables among components. So then the other thing is the server-side rendering part. So I will show it using some implemented UIs in the DJR application. So a few months back, we started integrating existing we started refactoring existing UIs with the React.js React UIs. So but for the moment process has been hold. So I will demonstrate the remaining part with using that implemented code. So first I will run the application as it took much time. Okay, so here I'm going to demonstrate a simple login UI. So with email and password. So we need to handle some server side requests as well. So this is my HTML file sign in component. So here I'm going to add, not going to, we have added the React component, React UI for login UI. So what we have done here is, so I will explain. So first, this is the rendering part. So this is a syntax. So we have given the my React component name that we need to integrate here, and you can see inside that, so there's a variable submit URL and there's a string. So no need to worry about that for the moment. I will explain later. So and you have to import your JSX file as well. So my JSX file is sign in component. So we'll go inside into that one. Yes. So this is my React component. So same. So names are same. So I will expand it. Okay. So as this is a login UI, I have two variables, email and password. So other than that, I need to maintain error messages for both email and password. So then React state comes into the picture. So inside the React component, so we are maintaining a state with assigning variable. So I need to use two variables and error object. So I have set and initialized those variables as state. So then we can use this state variable inside other events and functions. So okay, then the next part is UI part. So I will explain those two later. And inside the render function, we return the HTML element. So those are some links and some text. So this is the form. So this is the login form. So inside that there are two inputs. One for email and one for username, and we'll identify how we can handle the changing of these two input fields with the React. So here first I have defined state here. So for the easiness of the usability, so I have defined my state and it assigned to three variables here. Then so here for the input field, so the value should be state email. So if I have defined a value for email here, so when loading the UI, so it will load that initialized value. So if not, it will be empty. And so we have set the email here, same as for password, set password. And then we need to catch up the change of those two input fields, email and password, in order to do validations. So then what we can do is we can add on change event here, and we have defined two event functions there, one for email change, another for password change. So those two methods are defined here. First, look at the email change event. So when email is changing, so this event will fire. So when firing, what we need to do here is we need to update our state. So when email is changing, we need to update the existing email value with the new value. So this is the thing done here. So we set the we update the state and set email, and here at the same time we are doing email validation. So there's a simple validation here. Only check the email length. So if email there's no email, so we are setting a email error message. So same as the password, when password is changing, so we are getting the password value. So and here we are doing some validation. So check the password length and check whether it's contain a letter, number, likewise. So we can do validations as we want. After that, finally we can update the state with new password, and also if there are any error messages, we can update the state password error message state. So likewise, so we can catch up the React input field changes, and then and the next thing is, if we have error messages, how we can display those error messages in UIs. So this is the syntax. So we have defined a Boolean value here. So check this is true. So if email length and greater than 0 and password length greater than 0, so I have defined a state here. So if email error message have a message or has a message, or password error message has a message, then we need to display it. And here we are not using if or something, so we are just adding some tag here, like, so if we have error messages, so simply display this error message here, same as the password. Okay, this is the UI validation part. And for the submit button, we disable it. So when loading the UI, we need to disable it as all fields are empty. So in order to disable the submit button, we use this is enabled property. And let's check the UI. Okay, this is the UI. So actually, so UI implementation is done by Ashan. So we only done development part. So UI credit should goes to Ashan. So okay, let's see. So if I type something here, so and if I remove, so don't worry about the error message displaying. So just to show you, the error messages are pop up, and if I start to type in password, yeah, it will show the error messages as well. So then, so we'll check the submit process. So first I will show the simple scenario. So when submitting this form, here we call on submit function. Via that we call our internal function handle submit. So we'll go with the handle submit function now. Okay, this one. Inside that function also, where I have defined is state here. So there's a fetch function. So then here I will explain the submit URL as well. You can see I am using the submit URL here. Then what's the submit URL is, you can see this is authenticate user. So this is the route we need to navigate when we click the submit button. So simply it is our action method. So then we submit button, it will navigate to, it will hit to that action method. Then we need to mention the what's the method, and then headers. We need to pass the variable as body parameters, and finally we will catch up the response, and after getting the response, so we can display the messages as well. So before this, so first I will display a alert when user click the submit button. Okay, we'll see what happens when I submit the login form. Okay. I think I have to reload the page. Yeah, it will pop up the alert when I click the submit button. So like this, we can call our action method, and we can log user into the system. So I will show that part as well, so to verify this is okay. Okay, user logged into the system. So likewise, we can handle the post request, get request via React component. So we can call React component through our CSS HTML file, and from React component we can call to our index action methods as well. So those are the things I need to demonstrate here. So okay, so then if you guys have any questions, you can ask.